What's up, guys? How is it going? So today we're gonna close up the 3-note voicing chapter, let's say your season or whatever, and we're gonna combine what we learned last time, okay, the 3-note voicing with a minor 7, major 7, and dominant 7. So let's go back to basics. Let's say we're in C. I'm gonna take for granted that you know all your degrees in all the keys, and I'm also gonna take for granted that and if you don't, my playlist, I have playlists talking about this. Please go and revisit them. So let's say we're in C and we're playing the scale, but we're playing it harmonized in chords, right? So your normal C scale, if you're playing in just with notes, would be the individual notes would just be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? But if we're playing it, harmonizing it with chords, then you have, especially if you add in the 7th, you have your first degree, which is C major 7, your second degree, which is a minor triad, okay, because it's the 2, but we're adding the minor 7 to it. Then your third would be the same minor triad with the minor 7th, okay, on top right here. Your fourth will be a major 7 chord, okay. Your fifth will also be, your fifth will be a dominant chord because you have the major third and the minor 7 over here for the 5th degree. And then the 6th will be a minor chord, minor 7 chord. And the 7th degree will be a diminished minor 7 chord because this is your diminished triad, okay, and we're adding the flat 7 on top of it, stacking it up, and then obviously you go back to your octave, right? So now that we revisited all those chords, now we're gonna break it down. So if we're playing a 2, 5, 1, which means a D minor 7, 5, so it will be a dominant, which is the G, and back to the 1, which is a major 7. How do we strip this in the 3-note voicing? So let's play the D minor 7 chord again. So what we're gonna do, on the left hand, we're gonna remove the major 7th note, which is C. We're gonna remove it, but we're gonna leave it on the top. We're also gonna remove the A in both hands because we don't need it. It's not an essential note, right? It's not important to determine the quality of the note. What is important to determine the quality of the notes is the 3rd and the 7th. So we don't need this 5th, okay? This 5th of the minor 7 of the D minor. We don't need it. But we do definitely need the F because the F is the minor 3rd in the D minor chord, okay? But we're gonna leave it just on the top, right here, and then we're gonna remove it from the left hand because the left is only playing the root note, okay, on the bass. So on the bass, as long as we have the root note and we're also gonna remove it from our right hand, we're all good because now look at what's left. The 3-note voicing, okay, of a D minor chord, right, with the minor 3rd note at the bottom because I'm looking at it from left to right in the direction, and then the major 7 note at the top, meaning this is a type A, okay? So the next, if we're applying the same concept and we're saying, look, we don't need any other note, we just want the root notes, the 3rd or major 3rd or minor 3rd, and the 7th major or minor, then that means when I'm moving to the G, which is the 5, okay, 2, 5, 1, my F, okay, is already the minor 7th of G. So I don't need to move it at all. It's already there. What I'm doing is I'm just going to be moving the C notes, okay, to B because that is going to be the major 3rd note of my G, okay? Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is the reference, that's your G. This is the minor 7th note, and on top you have the major 3rd. And remember, today we're combining type A and B together, okay? Just to make the movement seamless and to create smooth voice leading, meaning that I don't have to jump too much over the keys. I literally I'm shifting by a semitone to go to the next chord type, all right, to complete the progression. So going back to the 2, which is we're playing a minor, a type A, and then we're gonna go to the 5, and I'm just moving the C down a half step. And look, I already have my dominant type B. Why is it type B? Because the minor 7th note is right at the bottom, okay, followed by the major 3rd note, which is at the top. Now it's time to go to the 1. So how do we go to the 1? On the bass, I'm going to the 1, and guess what? I'm already with the major 7th. I'm already in place, which is the B. All I need to do now is move from the F to the E, okay? Because that's your major 3rd note of the C. And that's it. So pretty much, you've only shifted by a semitone and you've played the progression, the 2-5-1 progression easily, right? Without doing too much. So you just literally did this. 2, 5. How easy, guys? And guess what? You can do the same exact thing in another key. So let's say, let's do an E flat, right? We're in E flat, sorry. So the 2 in E flat is F, okay? The 5 is B flat, and then the 1 obviously is E flat. So following the criteria that I showed you guys, okay? If I'm playing the 2, which is a minor 7, okay, this is what it looks like. On the left, I'm removing everything, just leaving the notes that I need. And on the right, I'm removing everything except for the minor 3rd and the minor 7th, okay? So F minor 7, right? Then I'm going to the 5, which is the B flat, okay? I already have the flat 7 notes, which is A flat, right here. So all I'm doing is shifting from the E flat to the D to play that major 3rd of the B flat. This is my dominant now. And now I want to go to the E flat major. So E flat major already have the major 7th note, which is D. I'm just shifting the A flat to the G right here, okay? And this is it. Very simple, guys. So let's do it again. Yeah? And then, and you've noticed also the fingering, it will just come so easily and naturally because you're literally just shifting a tone, you're literally shifting by a semitone, sorry. So it makes it easier even for your fingering to be in place because you're literally just going down and up, right? So now let's do the same thing, but we're gonna do it starting from the type B, okay? So if I'm in the, let's go back to C, right? So I'm playing the 2, okay, in type B position, meaning, okay, meaning my minor 7th is at the bottom, okay, and my minor 3rd is at the top. So this is how it looks like. Now I want to move to the G, okay, which is the 5. So I move to the 5 with my left, and then I already am in position to play the dominant. All I need to do is move from the C to the B, okay, because this 7th now will become the 3rd, major 3rd of the G right here. And I'm not touching the F because that F is already the minor 7th of the G, okay? And now, if I want to go to the C, I tell the bass, hey, go to the C, go to the 1. And same thing, I'm not touching this B because this B is already the major 7th note of the C. What needs to be shifted now to make the major 7th? Just this note right here. So from F down a half step, okay, to the E. And this is it. So this is what it's gonna sound like. G, and then see how it sounds already kind of full or complete without adding too many notes. That's literally your foundation of the 2-5-1. And then as you get familiar with it and the shapes and you know it and you move in circle of 4th and 5th, which I'm gonna play as usual at the end in all keys, Then you take it to the next step, and then you're gonna add the color tones, okay, or the color notes, or you know, embellish them with like a 13th or a 9th or flat 5, and you know, and there's so many rules for that, but we're not gonna get into that today. It's just simply 2-5-1 3-note voicing. Okay, now a cool way to practice this is, let's say we've played the 2-5-1, okay, in type A, starting from type A, sorry. Then you have your type B in 5, and then you have your type A again in C. What you can do is literally take it from there again. So you're already in C. Let's make the C the 2 now, okay? If I want to make it the 2, it means that it has to be a minor chord, right? Meaning that if I'm on the C and I want that C to be the 2, okay, all I'm doing on the right hand is playing the minor third this time, E flat, and then the B flat, okay? So this now we're in the 2. If we want to go to the 5, it will be the F, because if the C is the 2, we know the 5 is F, and then the 1 will be obviously B flat, okay? So we will then play the 2, and then the 5. Literally, I'm coming down half step, because you have the flat 7 already, and then the major third of the F, and then you play your 1 nice and easily. You shift the E flat to the D, because that's gonna be the major third of the B flat that we're in, and you already have the major 7th note of the B flat. And then using this logic, so and so on, you then use now the B flat as a 2, okay, meaning this is our B flat, and then its 5 will be then E flat, okay, and then you go to the 1. So it's important for you to absolutely know your degrees, because if you know what each degrees function as in what key, it's going to be so easy for you to play the 2-5-1 in all the keys, okay? So using this logic is I think it's gonna make more sense when I actually play it and you see it. So I'm gonna play it now, as I said earlier on, type A and type B, circle of 4th and 5th, so that you can understand and you can visually see how it makes sense. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so your next challenge, because as you saw, as I was playing the 2-5-1, I was getting lower and lower and lower towards the bass, and it was getting muddy. We don't want that. So the next challenge will be to stay in between this mid-range, okay? So not trespassing this C right here and this E. How do we do that? So you want to do it slowly, because it's not straightforward and easy. It needs practice. And you're going to start. So if we're in C, we're going to play the 2. Okay, then the 5 and the 1, and now we want that C to be our 2 chord, so I'm gonna play the minor, and then I'm gonna play the 5, which is F, and then I'm gonna play the 1. I want you to notice something though, when you're doing the 2-5-1, okay, so if you on the bass, if you're going towards your right, so this is your 2, okay, this is your 5, and this is your 1. So every time you're going upwards, you're going up a 4th, okay, so from D to G, and then every time you're going towards your left, you're going down a 5th, okay? So what happens is, I'm playing the 2, I go up a 4th, okay, that's your 5, and then I'll go down a 5th. if you think of it that way, it's going to be easier to play in the other chords, because then now my 2 is a minor, and then on the left I'm just going up a 4th dominant, and then if I'm going to the left I was going to play B flat, but because I said the rule not to trespass this, you're going upwards. So if you're going upwards to your right, you just go up a 4th, okay? Because from F to B flat is a 4th interval. Okay, so every time you're going to your right, you're going up a 4th. Every time you're going to left, you're going down a 5th. Does that make sense? So having said that, let's go back into the challenge. So 2, 5, okay, 1, and now we have the C is playing as a 2, and then 5, up a 4th, and then I'm going up a 4th, 1, because I'm going towards the right. And now the B flat will act as a 2, so 2. We're going toward the left, okay, that means it's going to be E flat, right? Down a 5th, and then I'm going back up towards the right, so it's going to be up a 4th, A flat. Let's keep going. So A flat is going to be the 2. We can go up a 4th if we wanted to. A bit of an overlap. And then we're going down, so towards the left, that means I'm going down a 5th. Let's keep going. So F sharp or G flat now acts as a 2. And we can go down, we can't go down a 5th, because if we go down a 5th, we're gonna trespass. So we're gonna go up a 4th, okay? Overlap. And then we're gonna go back down a 5th, okay? There you go. So I hope this is making sense to you. And if it's not, I don't know. I feel like I've explained it in the best way possible. Hopefully it makes sense. Please slow down the video if you need more time drilling the information. And yeah, happy practice. Hopefully you get it right. And yeah, let me know if that works for you or if it didn't work. And yeah, I'll see you in the next tutorial. I don't know when that is. I'm going to be focusing on a lot of classical, but hopefully I'll still be able to do some jazz on the side. So yeah, see you in the next video.